morning. My name is Richard Rozene, and I am the Treasurer of the Diocese. Today, we are going to present to you the budget for 2016. Later in this convention, you will be asked to approve the budget. I wanted to take this opportunity with the Reverend Nina Pooley, who is the chair of the Finance Committee, to go through the top 10 items that we think are of import to you as convention delegates. Number 10, line 185201, which is Camp Bishopswood. And we have allocated, or proposed to allocate, $15,000 in 2016.
What's he talking about? He's talking about all those budget lines that used to say something about Camp Bishopswood are now consolidated into one budget line so we can figure out what's going on. Number
9 is our advocacy line item, line 180800. That's item number 9. That contains a proposed slight increase from $11,000 to $16,000 in next year's budget.
What's exciting about that number? That number is exciting because it reflects a grant that we're hoping to get from the Episcopal Church for the Maine Episcopal Network for Justice, to which we will be giving $8,000 a year should we get the grant, which we hope we do. And they will be giving us close to $30,000 a year for that same 3-year period to do some really amazing work. Also in that section, which he failed to mention, we are maintaining our funding of international and domestic outreach. Stay tuned for the new UN Global Sustainable Development Goals, all 17 of them.
Thank you. Under number 8 of our top 10 is the Jeremiah Fund. You will find that under our fulfilling mission priorities. This fund, or the allocation of this fund, which is line item 190102, shows quite a decrease from previous years, and Reverend Pooley will provide details.
The Jeremiah Fund was set up as a 5-year projection so that we could smooth out our funding and our staffing over the 5-year income window. So this year is the middle year that we are in the cycle. And what we see with this number that Richard so carefully pointed out to us is that we're still on the positive side of that framework. So that in the next 2 years, we will then be able to draw on that reserved fund, the money that we've already put in the Jeremiah Fund, if we're in need of it. But right now, we are right on track. And that's good news.
Item number 7 is the National Church asking. That number, line item 180101, is significantly lower than our budget that we adopted last year. It's proposed at $286,942. Reverend Pooley has some further words about the reduction in this ask.
This is really, really good news because it's our hope that Diocesan Council will be able to pass along a percentage of that savings to the parish level as early as 2017's budget cycle. So stay tuned, there may be savings coming.
Hurrah. Number 6, line 185804 is Projects and Network Incubator.
What he's talking about is our new line items that we've not seen before in the budget for things like networks between musicians, between treasurers, between church administrative assistants, and programs such as our adult education program for the diocese. Those numbers are now in the budget, which means we are funding good work.
Thank you. Item number 5 on our top 10 is actually 2 line items. Line 185805 and later in the budget, line 18390. These are Clergy Day Committee and Living Stones expenses.
These are items which were once funded through the bishop's discretionary fund, so that we didn't actually see the cost of these in our original budgets. So now we see the full cost of what it means to do business as a diocese, and you see what it costs us to have a Clergy Day Committee, which throws wonderful Clergy Day events for our clergy, and the full cost of the Living Stones program.
Item 4, grants for programs. Some of you who have been at past conventions remember our mission priorities aspect of the budget. We no longer do that, but put those line items under the communications and advocacy portion of the budget.
Simply put, these are grants for programs, and all of our program chairs now apply for grants through the Mission Priorities Group, and they have to follow the 7 criteria for mission, which means they're accountable for their work, and we get to fund their good work.
Number 3 is found on the second page of your budget, about 1/3 of the way down, and you'll see an item marked Strategic Mission Support, the total value of which we have proposed is $109,420.
I don't understand. How can you not be excited about this, Richard?
I'm trying.
This is exciting stuff. Okay. So here's what you want to know about Strategic Mission Support Funds. These are grants that congregations have applied for and been granted for 2016, of which that number he just gave you, $74,370, has already been granted and approved by a diocesan council for those churches for 2016. But wait, there's more.
Well, wait a minute.
No, I'm not finished yet. So in reserve, we have another $35,050 waiting in case congregations which have applied for grants that are going to be in transition and don't know exactly what their clergy costs are going to be for 2016 can work with finance and council to get those numbers together, and then they're going to be eligible for grants in 2016, and we have the money set aside already. That's really, really cool.
But I'm not finished.
Of course not.
Second item that goes with that, and that is the new initiative grant program, line item 190109, Reverend Pooley.
That's the really cool stuff. So, new initiative grants are available to you and me and people who want to do new work on the ground through their congregations. Those applications go into the Diocesan Council twice a year so that you have plenty of opportunities to think of new work you should be doing, and you can apply for money for it. So we have $10,000 in the budget, but we also have another $15,000 available through the endowment for new initiative grants. So get to work.
Thank you. Top 10 list number 2. And we're getting close to the number 1 item, but I want to call your attention to 3 items which are found just before the end of the budget, the 3 Jubilee Centers, and they're zeroed out. Now you might ask what that's about, and I'm sure Reverend Pooley has an explanation.
Of course I do. So we have 3 Jubilee Centers, and that's really, really good news. We have St. Elizabeth's, which just became a Jubilee Center this year, Seeds of Hope in Biddeford, and Trinity in Lewiston. And they all do really different, really good work in the neighborhoods where they are. So it's our hope that for 2017's budget and beyond, there won't just be a list of the Jubilee Centers in the budget, but there will be funding numbers next to them. And for 2016, we have the possibility of making grants available to them as well. But Diocesan Council and Finance will meet with those leadership members, board, the directors, to see what particular needs they have and what kind of grant requests they make. And then we will work to meet them there.
Thank you. One item on the top 10 list is the income side of our budget. Yes?
That's it?
That's it.
That's all you have to say?
I'm sorry, my job's done.
For once, I actually agree with you. That is the most exciting part of our diocesan budget, which is that the income side and the income numbers are our absolute best estimates of money coming in 2016. No fudging. We did the income side first, and then we worked on the expense side. So the numbers you see listed under income are the most accurate estimates that we can make. And what he's really trying to say is that when you look at that, we have realistic income figures and very realistic expense figures, and absolutely no money in this proposed budget being drawn from the reserves to make that possible. That's the best budget news possible.
And I might add, we're not changing our assessment from the current 15.4%. It will continue to be at 15.4% of normal operating income less the first $10,000.
Which means we didn't have to raise the rate in order to balance the budget.
Thank you.
Well done.
As with you,